Ever get that feeling that the walls are closing in on you and there is no escape? Your breathing becomes shorter and faster, your mind starts racing, and you start to sweat and feel sick. But no, there's no way that you're having a panic attack. That doesn't happen to you. You simply don't have time for that. Welcome to the Quiet Mind and Soul podcast. I am your host, Joanna, a mindfulness enthusiast and a recovering perfectionist, and I will share tips for you to stop feeling anxious and to regain control of your life by reconnecting with your true self. What does that even mean? It means that by the end of this episode, you'll become more aware of your feelings and emotions, understand what makes you feel anxious, and you'll have the tools to stop being overwhelmed by your thoughts and make them work for you instead. If you've identified with what I described in the beginning of this episode, it is very likely that you're getting your anxiety lead the way. I am sure you want this to stop, like right now, so stick around until the end of the episode to find out how. Rest assured that you're not alone. It's you, me, another 260 million people according to the World Health Organization. We live in a world where 1 in 4 people will be affected by mental or neurological disorders at some point in their lives. Depression and anxiety alone cost the global economy $1 trillion each year. Can you believe this? More people are feeling anxious, and this does not discriminate age or gender. There is still a stigma associated with mental health disorders. Heck, I even have this funny feeling that I don't really want to admit that I might be in a situation where I need to work on my mental health. See my lengthy and rather vague description of my mental health? Talk about resistance and denial, right? The truth is that you can be very uncomfortable, stressed, fearful, and vulnerable to recognize that you need help to restore your well-being. I am here to tell you that it is normal to feel this way. It is important to have more people talking about this matter on social media so that we can raise awareness to such topics, and we are able to educate and prevent future generations from suffering unnecessarily. Feeling anxious is constantly living in the future, thinking how it will be and what will happen. Your body is living in the present, but your mind keeps diving in the future, so you get anxious. Our everyday pressures vary from balancing our work and personal life. We have to focus on our performance in our job, as a daughter, as or son, as a parent, as a friend. We focus on our diet, our workout routine, and our financial health. We just have so much on our hands that it's difficult not to get overwhelmed. 2020 will be talked about for years and years to come. Our kids and grandkids will learn about it in school and will be able to tell them firsthand our experiences. This pandemic made us reevaluate what really is important in this world, and we learned that we need to live one day at a time. Nothing is guaranteed. Everything is subject to change in a heartbeat. We are asked to stay indoors, to protect ourselves and others, away from our family and friends, and our mental health can be jeopardized. You can thank your brain for your anxious moments. No, really, be thankful. It is alerting you, protecting you. When there is a stressful situation before you, your body releases stress hormones, such as adrenaline and cortisol, and your fight, flight, freeze response is activated. You start to feel your heart pound and your breathing becomes faster and shorter. Your muscles tense up and you're ready to go and jump or to freeze right there on the spot. This was much useful when our ancestors were living in caves and had to quickly react to survive. Nowadays, the same reaction happens when you have a job interview, on your driving test, or when you don't get a lot of likes on your social media posts. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real and perceived danger, so your body's response will be the same either way. Sometimes, just by thinking of a situation, such as the workload for the next day, you get the physical response because your brain is not prepared to distinguish imminent from future danger, so it is protecting you from anything and anyone, even when it doesn't have to. We like to prepare ourselves so that we don't fail, but going through the whole situation in our minds leads to those negative emotions that eventually stop us from moving forward. So we end up just where we started, with the add-on of feeling miserable. The fact that you're focusing so much on not feeling this way, you end up feeling anxious in a much deeper level. Okay, let's try something fun. Are you ready? Don't think of a monkey riding a bicycle. Ah, what happened? Did you just do as I told you not to? That's right. First you imagine a monkey riding a bicycle, and then you thought how ridiculous that would be. Our subconscious mind doesn't recognize negative suggestions. So when you tell yourself to not feel anxious or to not eat that chocolate cake, your brain just processes, chocolate cake, let me get some of that. You keep sending the wrong instructions. No wonder you're getting the opposite results. This is exactly why you are experiencing anxiety. Saying you are anxious can have a big impact on your life because you are identifying yourself with anxiety. You call it by its first name, you go out for drinks together. It is time to put an end to that. Also, right after you imagined the monkey, you were quick to judge and decided that it was weird of me to say such a thing. Our thoughts go hand in hand with our ability to judge, and we are very quick to assume and make up our minds on something or someone with only a first impression. Train yourself to listen to your internal dialogue and really note your judgments and general thoughts. Just by doing this, you'll be living more in the present and having a more mindful attitude. Ask yourself, what triggers your feelings of anxiety? Have a heart-to-heart with yourself. Be honest and not judgmental. Be curious about what might be causing these emotions, and if your response to them is adequate. Write down those negative thoughts and make a list of ways to deal with the situations that originate them. Imagine how you want to feel instead. Let's say I got home tired from work, wanting to bury myself on the sofa and eat some chocolate while watching Netflix, and found out that my partner ate the last bit. I go crazy. This fury starts to rise in me until my blood just seems to boil under my skin. Is it reasonable to be feeling this way? Not really. Can I really change it? Yes, I'm glad you ask. I can think of what I want to feel instead. Okay, so I want to feel happy. What do I need to focus on to feel happy? I can focus on the fact that I'm grateful to have a loving partner that obviously didn't know that he wasn't supposed to eat my chocolate, and forgive him for that. What do I want to happen? I want to have more chocolate. How can I make that happen? Well, I can go to the store and buy some. You too can ask yourself these questions to get you moving away from stressful situations, maybe a little bit more serious than mine, and towards feeling much better. Another tip that I have for you is to start a gratitude journal. I know. I also used to think that it would not help at all, and it would be such a waste of my precious time. What ended up happening was that I ended up having more time to enjoy my life because I wrote down my negative thoughts and at least 3 things that I was grateful for each day. I could identify my emotions and balance them out in about 10 minutes of my day, and that allowed me to free my emotional baggage and making room for good things to happen. I invite you to start being more kind with yourself and tell your subconscious mind exactly what it is you want for your life. Do you want to feel more confident? Start telling yourself that you are confident. Act as if you already are. Who knows that you might not yet be? The more you use positive affirmations, the more you build your reality. Stop playing the victim and hop on the driver's seat of your life. Build the way to a beautiful destination and enjoy the ride. Okay, so let's recap. First tip to stop anxiety is to write down the most common negative thoughts that you constantly have, so that you can identify patterns and work on breaking them by asking yourself those questions that we talked about earlier. So, what do you want to feel instead? What do I need to focus in order to feel that way? What do I want to happen? And finally, how can I make that happen? The second tip is to start a gratitude journal where you write 3 things that you are grateful each day. And the third tip is that I have for you today is to start saying positive affirmations that ask the universe exactly what you want. What you focus on grows, so focus on the things that make your life better. I want to leave you with a quote by Cheryl Paul on her book called The Wisdom of Anxiety that says, "Anxiety is the bridge that connects ego to the soul, conscious to unconscious. And when we learn how to harness the wisdom of anxiety, the richness and messages contained in the unconscious and inform and expand our conscious lives." Wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. I just realized that I wrote down that's really wrong. So I need to recap. Let's read it again, okay? I'm not perfect. Bear with me. Anxiety is the bridge that connects ego to soul, conscious to unconscious. And when we learn how to harness the wisdom and anxiety, the richness and messages contained in the unconscious can inform and expand our conscious lives. I hope you enjoyed the tips and you feel more relaxed and confident that you will be able to cope with situations that have the potential to cause anxiety. I would love to hear back from you when you test these tips, and feel free to follow me on Instagram and send me a DM so that we can connect. Next episode, we will talk about the imposter syndrome and how it is affecting your life. See you then, and remember, you do you. It's a good thing to be different